Alright, so to start off, my face is clean. I just washed it, and I'm going to moisturize, which is really important when doing a dewy look because it's going to give you that nice glowy foundation. I'm going to use coconut oil and moisturize. You can use whatever moisturizer works best for you. Just rub that in with your hands. Make sure you get your lips too. So once your moisturizer has been put on and has had some time to sink in, we're going to move on to the foundation. I'm using Mercier's Silk Cream Foundation in the shade Cream Ivory. And what I'm going to do is actually mix that half and half with some Revlon Skinlights in the pink light color. And that's going to give this foundation a really, really nice dewy sort of coverage. So I'm just mixing them half on half on the back of my hand, and then I'm just going to apply that to the face. Just dot it on your face evenly so the product gets where it needs to go. Alright, and now I'm going to rub it in. So I'm actually going to do another layer of that Mercier Revlon Skinlights combo because I want a little bit more coverage for this look. Plop it on your face. And then for this second layer, I'm actually going to use a brush to blend it in. I'm using this big stippling brush like this. And just pat that into the skin. So next we're going to move on to concealer. I'm going to be using NYX HD concealer in the shade 04, and it's actually a little bit lighter than my skin tone, which is going to really have a brightening effect under the eyes. So just plop that under the eyes like that and bring it down to make sort of a little triangle shape. I'm also going to go around the nose and around my mouth. And then I'm going to take my finger and I'm just going to pat that in. Patting in definitely takes a lot longer, but it ensures that you're not disturbing the foundation that you just put on underneath the concealer, and it helps to make sure you're only getting the right amount of product on the skin. It also helps because your finger is warm, and that helps it blend into the skin better. Over the eyes as well. Alright, so I'm all concealed, my foundation is on, it's time to move on to the highlighting part, which is the most fun. I'm going to start off with MAC's Strobe Cream. Take a little bit of that on my finger and rub it together between my two fingers, and then I'm going to pat it on the tops of the cheekbone like that, and then also down the bridge of the nose and up into the middle of the forehead, Cupid's bow, and then middle of chin. Then I'm going to take that big stippling brush that we used to apply the second layer of foundation and just tap that over that strobe cream. You don't have to be too specific with this highlight because we're going to layer some other highlighters on top, and this is the base layer highlight. So once that first layer of highlight is down, what I'm going to do is take a tissue. I'm going to split the tissue so that it's only one ply, which is kind of fiddly, but separate it so you have one ply, which means it's just one layer of tissue. And then I'm going to take that and pat it over my face. This is basically a DIY piece of blotting paper. Alright, the reason we did that is I'm going to add another layer of highlight, and I don't want anything to look too cakey or to look too makeup-y, because the whole point is this dewy, healthy skin, and if your makeup's cakey, it doesn't look very healthy. So the next layer of highlight I'm going to add is this MAC pigment in Vanilla, and I'm just going to shake that onto my finger and slowly remove my finger, and I should have like a little circle of product on the end of my finger, and I'm just going to tap that again along the high points of the face. So tapping that right there, tapping it here. And then with just the excess on your finger, don't go back to the product and add more. Just carefully go down the bridge of your nose, Cupid's bow and chin, and forehead. The most intense area of highlight you want to be on your cheekbone, so by not reapplying the product to your finger and just using the excess from the cheekbones on the rest of your face, you're going to ensure that your cheekbones are the most intense, which is what we want. Alright, we're getting really, really glowy. I'm actually going to move on to blush. I'm going to use this L'Oreal True Match blush in Innocent Flush, this guy. It's a really pretty peachy color, and this actually has some luminosity to it, so it's going to add to that dewy glow. I'm using this big fluffy brush and just lightly tap that into the apples of the cheeks. Alright, next we're going to move on to the eyes. The eyes I want to make super luminous as well, so I'm actually going to use this really fun product from Stila. It's the Magnificent Metals in Kitten, and it's this really pretty, super metallic, champagne-y shade. And what I'm going to do is just put that on the back of my hand like this, and you add a little bit of water to it, which I have just plain old tap water. And then I'm going to take that on my finger and pat it in the middle of the lid, like that. You may need to wash your hands after this because this stuff is super glittery and will get everywhere, so be warned. So just to finish off that eye makeup, I'm actually going to take Milk Chocolate from the Too Faced Chocolate Bar palette, which is that guy right there, and I'm going to use a nice fluffy blending brush that's a little bit angled like this, so you can see that. So stick this brush with the point heading towards your hairline in the crease and just sort of drag it across like a windshield wiper. Windshield wiper motion. Like that, and you can see it just subtly defines the eye a little bit. And then take the tip of that brush with some product and run it underneath the lash line. Okay, now we're going to do our final layer of highlight. Yes, we're highlighting some more. This is strobing, and I'm going to use my Merry Luminizer. It's all cracked, so I can't open it for you, but it looks like this, and it's a super intense shimmery highlighter. First, before I add it to my cheekbones, I'm just going to take it on my finger and apply it to the inner corners, and then also to the brow bone. Just with your finger. Okay, and then I'm going to take a fan brush and put that in the Merry Luminizer. Brush off the excess on my arm because this stuff is really, really powerful. And then dust it super lightly on the cheekbones. In the middle of the forehead, and down the nose, and then the chin. I actually like to use my finger for the Cupid's bow. So you could totally leave this makeup look like this, but I'm actually going to curl the lashes and apply some mascara, and I'm also going to do a bright lip because I love for spring really nice dewy skin and really bright colorful lips. So first of all, the eyes, just going to curl. Okay, now I'm going to do the lips, and I'm going to zoom you guys in so you can see what I'm doing. So I'm first going to line my lips. I'm going to take this Rimmel Exaggerate Full Lip Color Liner in the shade Innocent, and I'm just going to outline the whole of my lips. When you're lining your lips, start with your Cupid's bow and draw down to the corners of your mouth. I find that's the easiest way. So for my base color, for my bright lip, I'm going to apply this NYX Liquid Suede in this very bright orangey color. It's the color 05. This stuff is super, super pigmented though, so you only need a tiny, tiny, tiny amount. Like that, and use my finger to blend it in. Next, I'm going to take Matte's Sweet and Sour lipstick, which is this really neon orangey color, and apply that on top of our NYX Suede orange color. Okay, so what I'm actually going to do now is going to seem counterintuitive, but I'm going to take my Makeup Forever Professional HD Definition Powder, and I'm going to powder parts of my face. The reason for that is this is a really dewy makeup, so the parts of my face that get oily naturally are going to get really oily really quickly, so it's a good idea to powder those parts. Also, if our whole face is completely shiny and strobed up, it's not going to give dimension to the face, and it's not going to have the effect of bringing forward your best features and having the other features recede. So I'm going to take this powder on this little tapered brush and just apply it right by the sides of the nose, sides of the mouth, and the chin a little bit. Also underneath our cheekbone here, because that's going to make our cheekbone really pop and come forward. And the sides of the forehead. Next step is I'm going to spray the face with this When Hydrating Mist, which is basically like rose water. You can also use Max Fix Plus. So a few sprays of this. And wait for that to dry. And once that's dry, just go into those places where you powdered and lightly tap, so that the really strobed areas of your face stand out. So this is the finished makeup look. I hope you guys liked it and that you learned a little bit about strobing. Basically, it's just highlighting. It's super easy to do, and it has an awesome effect of just waking up your face and making you look really healthy and alive, which is always good. And it's a lot easier to do than contouring. So if you did like this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and to subscribe. I would be so thankful. And other than that, I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.